Yo, what is going on? It's Catman316 here. Oh my gosh. Hope you're doing well. It's been a little while. Figured I'd jump on and chat a little bit, play a little Minecraft. It's been a little while. I've been doing all sorts of other stuff, streaming N64 games, other stuff, whatever. But yeah, so the real world is pretty crazy out there, huh? It's pretty nuts out there. So I'm going to talk about, some of the actual real life bad stuff that's going on in the world. Our government, they want to be able to fully surveillance us. Apparently pedophiles just control everything. Everything's nuts. But yeah, I guess first we should talk about what we did in the last episode. Let's see here. We built this big dumb iron farm, this thing. Hey, it looks cool on the outside. I still have a couple lights here. Don't judge me. It's fine, dude. It's fine. We built that thing. We pretended to blow up my buddy's house. Built this rock. A rock. That was kind of cool. Rocks are cool. And yeah, this fountain. This fountain's cool too. I guess I also briefly talked about how, some other players joined the game and how we need to have a little governance around here. So yeah, I haven't been playing much at all, but I do have this thing right here that I did build. This is gonna be kind of like the town voting booth, town office for president, the mayor or whatever it is, man. It's gonna be a democracy because we don't have one of those anymore, apparently, in the real world. But yeah, this one, we're gonna have a real democracy, at least in Minecraft. But yeah, this is what the inside looks like. It's not much, but picture it inside. There'll be a little office, there'll be a little voting booth over there. It'll be good. So yeah, I think in this episode, I'm going to talk a bit about just some real life stuff, whatever, and do what our government should be doing. Instead of being pedos and starting wars and stuff, we should be fixing our broken infrastructure. Yes. We're going to fix these roads. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of passively work on building out some roads here in the city, put some street lights in, make this feel more, like a city. Dirt roads in a city, I think that's probably unacceptable. Here. I don't think that's city-like. I think I want it to be a little more grimy, at least on this side over here. And it gets a little more dense. This other building gets added in. I think it's got to be, like a dark alley here. I think it's got to be, so whatever. I got to make some roads. I gotta think of a block palette. I'll figure that out. Maybe I'll get some materials there. Maybe some trash, some neon signs. I guess I'm gonna go get some materials, and then we'll get cracking. So I'm thinking on the main road. This is gonna be like kind of the main road here, right? Main road. This is the main building, and then maybe it'll trickle out and become more of like a town square sort of situation over here. I think brick and granite are going to be my main street road pattern. That'll probably go, I don't know, right around here. And then I think it'll change to maybe tough down here. And then it might even be in this back alley here. I might even go darker and use some deep slate tiles, something like that. I will tell you that my iron farm isn't really working correctly. So in fact, my iron farm is really just me killing iron golems. Okay. It's not working. That's okay. We'll fix it. Some other day. But for now, we're going to do this. A lot of things are happening, and things are happening real fast. One thing that's real dumb, I think, at least, is AI. I think, so yeah, Pete Hegseth, the USA, the government, they use AI, for a lot of their, military needs and stuff like that. There's this company, it's called Anthropic, right? Hegseth is he wants basically full access to the AI so that they can surveillance American citizens, U.S. citizens. Now, I am no AI expert, but I don't feel like, I'm no libertarian, okay? But like, don't you think that's kind of, it's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit treading on me, a little bit treading on me. U.S. mass surveillance seems pretty bad. And he wants autonomy for the AI so that they can basically kill people without needing the okay from a human. So pretty worrisome, dumb things that are going on. I don't know why anyone would be for that. But basically he's given like Anthropic, I think, till the end of this week. Maybe by the time this thing comes out, we'll know. But to either bow down or they'll threaten to get rid of their government contracts. So that's a weird thing that's going on right now, I don't know. Do you guys have parents? Do your parents use Facebook? Do your parents go on Facebook? I shared a video on a Facebook post about like Thomas Massie and 𝘫𝘬𝘪𝘤. If you don't know who they are, they're in Congress. One's a Democrat, one is a Republican, but both are like not compromised in terms of like AIPAC or big billionaire donors and stuff. So they were like, what the hell's going on with all this Epstein stuff? That's crazy. So I posted a video about how it all came to be and how the Epstein Files Transparency Act, right? That's what Thomas Massie and 𝘫𝘬𝘪𝘤 put together. And it's just crazy. I posted this video, and then you get my dad, he's got to come right back, and he's just like, "Thing bad is listed as fact on Trump. Backfired on the Dems." Now, this is the thing about parents and Facebook. They can't comprehend that both Republicans and Democrats are liars. There has to be a side. They can't fathom that their beautiful Republicans would ever lie to them. They can't fathom that Democrats would ever tell the truth either. So anyway, I just kind of explained. I was like, there's the amount of disturbing stuff from the Trump administration, or reported about Donald Trump, in general, in the public records. Some of the worst things I've ever read. I'm trying to explain all this to my dad, right? I'm like, I take survivors' firsthand accounts seriously. This is why I respect figures like Thomas Massie and 𝘫𝘬𝘪𝘤 for calling out corruption across the party lines. I'm just like trying to get my dad to realize that he needs to step out of his partisan bubble, right? Like Fox News and whatever, and just listen to the survivors who've been ignored by multiple administrations, back to Bush. It's not just the Democrats, whatever. All these guys were hanging out with Epstein even after they knew he, did bad stuff to little girls. I don't know about you, but I don't trust anyone who hangs out with a rapist. The powerful interests, they don't care who's in charge, Democrat or Republican, as long as leaders protect the power structures and geopolitical alliances and all that dumb stuff. Global elite. And I was trying to explain all of this to my dad about super PACs and why they're so bad. And why our democracy is supposed to prevent kings and oligarchs and the wealthy from operating above accountability. And I'm just trying to explain this to him, I'm just trying my heart off, as another YouTube Minecrafter would say. I'm just trying to explain to him that no one is better than anyone else. And if the rich and powerful can do whatever they want, people are going to stop believing in democracy altogether. And they probably already have. Everyone named in the records that there's allegations against should be investigated and questioned in court. That's all I'm trying to get across to my dad. And, of course, he writes back, if it was so bad with proven facts on Trump, then the Democrats would have already released them when Biden was president. That's the excuse forever, right? And I had to explain again, it's because they're both compromised. We all know this. Outing Trump would effectively out the Democrats, too. It's not about Democrats versus Republicans. It's about who has power, the billionaires, the global elites. As long as that circle of interest, that circle of powerful people and influence stays in control, that's all that matters to them. And also there was the case for Maxwell was ongoing. I think it was under appeal until 2024. So they weren't even legally allowed to talk about it, but whatever. And that's the whole thing I was trying to explain to him. So then my dad writes back, did you know that Trump was the one who turned Epstein into the authorities? Trump never went to the island. He just can't get Trump's out of his mouth. It's crazy. So I had to explain, well, did you know that that's not actually true at all? The FBI in 2019. And then I was like, Trump was our president, remember? Interviewed the former Palm Beach police chief, Michael Reiter. Reiter. He said in the interview that in 2006, Trump called him and let him know about Epstein. The investigation in Palm Beach already been going on in 2005, so that means Trump didn't tell him anything that they didn't already know in 2006, since there was already a thing going on in 2005. and that's even if he had a call, because this is all just 2019 thing that the FBI put together. And by the way, that was 2 months after Epstein died. So it's like, and if you really thought Maxwell was so evil, he wouldn't have personally moved her into a low security prison, basically just a summer camp. So yeah, the interview came 2 months after Epstein died. And sus maybe, Now I don't know why the administration would, after his death, have an interview with some people and try to backpedal and hide some things. That would be crazy. Whatever, dude. The real world is crazy right now, and I just need to talk about it a little bit. That's all. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, the world is so messed up. So yeah, we need some good democracy here in Minecraft, and I'm going to make it happen. Moral of the story is boomers should be banned from Facebook. Someone will get arrested. I'm sure of it. Someone. Yeah, I wanted to go one down so that it was like less places for iron golems to spawn, but also like just the added depth. Oh, it's beautiful. So yeah, I think this is as far over as I'll go with the brick, and instead I'm gonna bring the brick over here, and I'll probably just like go around the fountain. And that'll be cool. And then, yeah, we'll just like trail off, be dirt, cobblestone, whatever down here. Yeah. And then put in some like nice light posts, maybe some like, you know, connect some electricity. Okay, back to it. Forgot I had no armor on. Oops. It might be a little too much, right? It might be a little too, well, I don't know. I think I want to add one more section onto this building too. I feel like it just needs this section, but again, you know? And then it'll look a little more City Hall-y. So, so there's some things. Ooh, I think I could do something cool with, like, not bad. Look at this. This looks pretty good. Right? Yeah. And this, I'll widen this up. This building's going to be a little bit wider. Here we'll have, you know, the road over here. Oh, it's going to be good. And then it'll turn into, yeah, a different material for this alley over here. Make it a little bit darker. All right, let me try one thing. All right, so let me try this here. So if I do this, okay. Yeah, right? That's a kind of a cool road pattern. And then I could do that, like, right? This is cool, I feel like. We really do have terrible infrastructure in this country right now, because all of our money is going to like pay lawyers and stuff, because our government's run by like a pedophilic cabal or whatever. It's crazy that Pizzagate's like pretty much real. Isn't that crazy? Oh my god, I could go on and on. Anyway, I think I'm gonna be done with this for now. It's a shorter episode, not a lot to it. I wanted to jump on, just ramble a little bit. And yeah, I messed that up. That shouldn't. Oh, come on. Yeah, so this is kind of the idea here. It'll be a little road. I think I'll do something else here. I don't know. Maybe stone around this. I think it'll look cool eventually. And then yeah, this will just like kind of transfer over into dirt and cobblestone. Anyway, I love you so much. Yeah, I've been playing N64, streaming it, just random games. I'm going to try to play every single N64 game that I can get my possible hands on. I'm just gonna stream it, and then I'm gonna do a little video about all the games in the N64 as a whole. And I hope it's cool. But yeah, until next time, I love you so much. Yeah, dude, our government's crazy, everything's crazy. Minecraft's cool, and hanging out with your friends and playing music and stuff with your friends is cool. So do that kind of stuff as much as you possibly can. Okay, I love you so much. Bye.